Okay, Capricorn, this is Rogue Mystic Divination with your monthly for May 2025, and we're going to see. I'm probably going to have to readjust things, but you are my first for the day, and after this is Aquarius and Pisces, but we are going to see how everything lines up, so excuse me if I have to realign things. That should be alright. I'm sure I'm not going to be happy with that here in a minute, but that is your first card of the month. You're going to get 8 cards this month, and then there will be a final 9th card that will show what kind of energy is touching every area of your life. Yeah, so far you've got the Fool in reverse, so at least he's pointing the right way. He is pointing the way that means he's making progress, things are moving forward, and somehow you're still holding back because you may not know where this path is going to take you. It's like getting all the dry ingredients together for a batch of cookies, and then it's like, well, what am I missing? I know there's something missing, and you're missing the wet ingredients. So likely you've made so much progress on on one path that you're on, but then now you're either at a point of disillusionment or that you just can't figure out what else this needs, what else you need to do, and there's a point to you doing this, but there's a big chunk of information that you are missing. Now, yesterday I was doing these monthlies, and there for a while it was just like a block of them that needed all the cards out at the same time. But you are not like that. It's not the energy that I'm getting with you. I think this is a step-by-step process that you're going through. So even though with the Eight of Cups, this person is abandoning something due to disappointment. They're still making progress. They're going away, but they're not going backwards. They're going that way to make progress. And even though you're leaving something behind, you know where it's at. You're keeping tabs on it. And Ace of Wands. You may be leaving this unfinished process here to start something new where you know what it is that you need to do with this new process. And it's going to open up more opportunities for you. And I do believe that whatever, not this process itself, but the opportunities that it opens up for you is going to help you fill in the pieces for what it is that you need to do next with this thing that you already abandoned. And it's not so much that you just up and abandoned it. It's like it got shelved until you got the next source of inspiration to work on it. The next bit of information, the next research. Yeah, because even this is driving you back to look at the past. Like, okay, how can I utilize this now? How can I utilize this training to... This is still not working for me. I knew I was going to have to move something. And this is the life of dealing with someone this title, right? I always feel like I'm in between and nothing's ever done, but things still manage to get done. But no, with this Hermit being in this position and looking back, I do believe that it may even be that you need to get some kind of training and experience before you can come to a point of completion or even further progress with this first thing. I'm not sure what that is, but maybe the next line of cards will give us a little bit of insight as to what that is. Coming out of poverty, because even though this is financial loss in this position, Pisces, the Five of Pentacles, it could be that you didn't have the funding to keep this going. See, now you're getting all of these at the same time. Now, yeah, this Eight of Cups was a connection or a partnership that wasn't working out. Even though you may have gone into something with the same idea, the same intent as somebody else, as things developed, it didn't work out. And that may be why it is that you found yourself in a position of financial loss with this project, and it could just be life in general. No matter what you did, you weren't going to get anywhere. Not because of any one person's due diligence of fucking up your life. It was just you. That was the energy around you. And that was maybe lessons that you needed to learn and have been putting off if you had previously been finding success. But this partnership that you were under is what disappointed you. And it just didn't. You may have even been lying to yourself or trying to keep my cigarette lit. Lying to yourself or making some kind of concession in order to detach from this conflict, thinking that it would pass at some point in time. However, you just needed to wait it out, or just deal with the problem, and then the reaction to the problem will go away. That might not be the case. But Capricorn, with this new idea, this new project, it could just be new inspiration that you're finding to go off on a tangent and work on something that all of this energy hasn't touched yet. It is going to allow you to make quite a bit of progress, and it's going to be thought-focused. I know that there is a lot of restlessness and unfocused energy with this, but this is a tornado. The Knight of Swords is a tornado, and it's possible that you're utilizing somebody else to bring this idea to get these up so you can read these if you guys want to. Utilizing somebody else to, I hate to say it like this, but do your bidding. Make your idea real. Paying somebody to like 3D print your invention, your device, something like that. And there is a certain amount of unpredictability with this. However, I think any obstacle that you come up with this is going to give you more inspiration as to how to solve the problem. And in this is going to help you figure out some of the problems that you had with this other thing, this other area of your life, the entirety of your life. This is going to give you answers. And I say you may be utilizing somebody else's services or abilities, maybe their tools, because the knight is wearing a suit of armor that, even though he fits it, it's not his. This is a person put into a role and carrying an idea, a sword that somebody else made, and utilizing it to enact the will of somebody else. The knights act on somebody else's will, on orders. It's also possible that this is you doing this, and you're just... The only negative kind of connotation I'm getting from this is that if you... It's right up there with programming, right? Say you're the machine, Capricorn, and you're told to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. and you're given a list of ingredients. If you've never made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before, and depending on the order in which these ingredients are given to you, you could have peanut butter on the outside of one piece of bread and jelly on the outside of the other, and then it's just the two dry sides of the sandwich together. You know, it's going to be very important to know the intent and the context behind some of the information or instructions that somebody is giving you, and vice versa. If you're giving somebody instructions, be conscious of the order in which you give them and the context in which they are being given and understood if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong during this process, it could be because something was out of source to begin with, and the person didn't understand your intent, your context. Now, I do believe that with the Five of Cups on top of the Hermit here, the Hermit is looking at the past and he's trying his best to see it as it is, or as it was. How did we get here? What was the process? What did we gain from it? What did we hope to gain from it? And what was the reality of our actions? What was the true result of our actions? And do they line up with what we wanted to get out of this situation, out of this process? The Five of Cups is looking at all of the problems. The Hermit is looking at the previous path to learn from the good and the bad, and realize how it is that they are understanding something without somebody else telling them how to think or how to feel. And the Five of Cups is looking at a situation for everything that they've lost, all of the negative, all of the water under the bridge kind of a result. It's almost like it's the sewage of the situation that he can't let go of. There are things that he's ignoring, and these Two of Cups over here, something that can be salvaged. I mean, they're right there. But if you keep looking at these other cups and see how it is that the car was wrecked, how the plan didn't go the way it was supposed to, and, well, you're not looking for the why, you're not looking for an answer. Make sure you're looking for the answer, because I think this is probably going to be kind of like a bipolar kind of a situation where it's like, I go to seek the answers, I go to find, or you go to find what it is that was to be gained from this, and somehow it's just keeps coming back to this. There is positive and negative out of something that you've left, because you're at the end of the road. You're at the end of the road with something, and you can either keep building the road, or you can start doing something else. The end of the road is pretty much whenever and wherever you choose for it to be. Now, for your ninth card. There was one of these that just totally got a little out of control and got, like, I don't know, like 10 extra cards or something, but I don't think that's what you need. You might need another one, but the entire point behind this month for you, Capricorn, is that, and again, the page is looking backwards. And even though they're trying to uphold ideas and move things forward, if you're not getting anything out of staring at the past, then stop staring at the past. Change your eyes, or train your eyes to a different source and focus on that for a while. And then after paying attention to this future and to where you want things to go, even if you're coming out of something with nothing, with the Five of Pentacles, or feeling like you're coming out of it with nothing, you're still having the idea. what it is that this failure was cloaked in. It was dressed up a certain way because that's how you wanted things to look. But the practicality of the situation is what was not working, which is why he's on crutches, right? He only had a leg to stand on, and it was likely that there was some kind of fallibility with the foundation of this idea, with this plan. But whenever you're learning these new ways to communicate with the Page of Swords, it's going to be important that you don't immediately go back to this. Allow this skill to develop, and then utilize the formed skill trying to figure out what happened, where things went wrong. Because if you immediately like, oh, well, I know how to read the basics of a language, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go decode some ancient text that's originally in like ancient French, right? It's not even technically in French, it's in some French dialect. So it's a regional construct of the language, and it's like, you can't figure that out from basic French. As much as you want to immediately go back and decipher something, decode something, it's not going to be in your best interest. The Page of Swords is still learning, and even though they have the basic muscle memory, the most basic muscle memory on how to hold a sword, and the muscles still hurt. The body isn't broken in as well as the mind may hope that it is, and even though learning has taken place, it doesn't mean you've learned everything. An associate's degree does not equal a doctorate, and being comfortable with yourself is going to be very important, but also so is knowing your limitations. So I do believe that is where I'm going to leave you this month, Capricorn. I am still doing the dailies, weeklies, and monthlies, so please keep an eye out for those. And I do still have some housekeeping to get up on, but hopefully I will actually have all that tidied up today, and we'll be off. But thank you guys for tuning in very much. I am going to be doing a 72-hour reading